I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. With the Republican and Democratic national conventions only a few months away, we're seeing more chatter about who the candidates would choose as their running mates. Joining me now with reaction are Washington Examiner reporter Kyle Feldscher and Liz Peek, columnist for the Fiscal Times. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, so Liz, do you think it's too early for them to be talking about the VP, who will be their running mate?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got two categories. You've got people who actually could become the nominee, like Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, and they're sort of not particularly interested in this. Ted Cruz is vetting candidates, apparently has been for months, but that's sort of typical of the Ted Cruz organization, incredibly well organized, very efficient, et cetera. Donald Trump, as is his want, sort of more typically Donald Trump, is saying, we'll get to that when we get to that. You know, for John Kasich, it makes him look presidential. It looks like he could actually become the nominee if he starts talking about betting candidates. I think the only discussion really that makes sense here about candidates is the fact that either Marco Rubio or John Kasich, who both have a considerable number of delegates, could basically put Donald Trump over the top. I mean, if he gets to the convention in Cleveland, short 100 delegates or whatever, and a lot of models show him about in that category, he could partner with John Kasich and basically offer him the Veep slot, which I know Kasich has said he doesn't want, and basically get the nomination.
They have to say that.
They have to say that. But look, Trump needs help with Congress. He doesn't have a clue how to navigate Congress, get a bill made. So having someone from Congress, as John Kasich formerly was, as his vice presidential nominee would make him very credible.
Well, Kyle, Liz brings a really good point, because in the GOP, with Donald Trump as the front runner, he's going to need something with experience. It's got to be critical for him. And so, you know, who would he be considering at this point if it's not one of the people who have been running for president?
It's a great question. It might be someone, you know, in the House maybe that has, you know, has pledged their support to him at this point. You know, you bring up Marco Rubio, and it's hard for me to believe that maybe Marco Rubio would swallow his pride, kind of, and jump on the Trump ticket, because they had such a huge falling out during
especially when he talks
the
about
end
his
of Rubio's
hands.
campaign.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, they had such an argument, and they went back and forth, and Rubio is one of the few people who tried to take him on in this campaign, and it was so devastating to him. I wonder where his mind is at on whether or not he would accept that nomination. But like you said, I would not be surprised to see either someone from Congress who maybe isn't is a Trump supporter but doesn't have a huge name, or maybe it's Donald Trump and he goes out of left field and predicts takes someone that no one could predict.
Very interesting. Well, Liz, I'm interested in your take on the Democratic side, because the Boston Globe is reporting that Hillary Clinton would consider having a woman on the short list for VPs, which would be unprecedented, of course, because her being the candidate would be unprecedented, but then having another woman. Is that a good strategy or not? I
think it's a terrible strategy. She already has an enormous amount of the women's vote in her pocket, mainly because people want a woman president. So why would she double down on that? It makes no sense whatsoever to me. I don't know whether she was trying to attract the followers of Elizabeth Warren, because she is a progressive, and she would take a lot of the Bernie Sanders camp along with her, so that might be very appealing to Hillary Clinton. But look, Hillary Clinton's got a problem with white men. I mean, and also she wants to solidify perhaps her support with the minority community. They're pretty much on her side as it is, but it could be stronger. So there have been other people suggested for her that I would think would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, Kyle, what do you think? I mean, she has to go the white man route, or the black man route, or the woman route. I mean, or the Hispanic route. I mean, we've got a lot of choices there for her.
Right, absolutely. But the problem with the Democrats is that there's no one that's really strong and jumping out. You know, Elizabeth Warren's name is jumped about, but she does not seem like she has any interest in the job, at least from what we can tell publicly. The name that I've heard quite a bit tossed around is Julian Castro, the Housing and Urban Development Secretary. He doesn't have a lot of government experience, but he is seen as an up-and-comer in the Democratic Party. But aside from that, it is tough to think of someone who really stands out. I don't think Bernie Sanders would be interested in, after this contentious campaign, to jump in with her. But there's not a lot of, the Republicans had 17 people run for president this year. The Democrats had 5. There's just not a huge bench of Democratic, national figures to pick from at this point.
It'll be interesting to see what her choice will be. Thank you so much, Kyle and Liz, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 race, go to foxnews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.